Welcome to Coffee with Crystal. I'm Crystal Joy, contemporary romance author of Completely Captivated, Completely Yours, Shackled Heart, and Shattered Heart. Join me and grab a cup of coffee as I discuss how to sell your books to local stores. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to take the time to find local stores who might want to buy your books? That's easy because it's really great marketing, first of all. You have stores who will have your books in places where people will walk by them and see them. And the more often they go to those places, say for instance a coffee shop, the more likely they are to buy your books. Secondly, it's really easy money because you aren't doing anything else besides selling the books to your stores. So you get all the money up front, and they're the ones who are actually doing the work trying to sell your books. So it's a win-win. There's absolutely no reason you shouldn't try to sell your books to local stores. So how do you go about doing that? The first thing you need to do is create a list of possibilities. First thing you want to start with is your content. What are your books are about? So that might help you think of some places that might not normally buy books. Say, for instance, a hospital or like the gift shop in a hospital. My second book, Shattered Heart, or my second small town romance novel, Shattered Heart, the hero is an oncologist. So that was one of the places that I put on my list when I started trying to think of stores that might want to buy my books. So it could be based on content, but it doesn't always have to be. So for instance, you can think of all the different coffee shops. Think of, I have my books in a hardware store. I have my books in it's a quaint little store in a village nearby that has clothes, it has jewelry, it has like birthday cards, all these different things. So it's the perfect shop to have my books. And they're very, very supportive of local authors. Another easy one is local bookstores. Obviously, they might be interested. I sell mine to a local used bookstore, and they still actually sell my books for full price. So they'll take authors' books for full price just because they're super supportive of local authors. So you never know who might want to buy your books. So just make that list, and I would say try to get at least 20 different stores or shops on your list. Once you have that list, you can't just go out and try to sell your books. You actually need to have some sort of plan. And what do I mean by that is, for instance, you need to figure out what's in it for them. I think a lot of times as authors, we often get a little selfish. We think about, our plots and our characters and what would be best for our career. But when you're selling to local stores, this is not just about you. You want to figure out what's in it for them. So you need to figure out what is the price point you pay. So when I buy my books, I buy author copies through Amazon. So I know what each of my books costs. And I also know what the hardcover or what the main cover is for them. So for instance, say Shackled Heart it costs $4.11 to make, and I charge $12 for it. So I need to have a price point in between so that store can actually make some money off of me. I don't want to charge them less than $4 because then I'm not making any money off of my book. That would be a very not smart business choice to make either. And I'm just saying Shackled Heart because Shackled Heart is my most expensive book because it's the longest book I have. The rest of my books are actually all under $4 to make. But I definitely want it to be more than that. But I wanted the price point for each store to be less than the $12 so that the store can actually make money. And I always offer to stores too, they can charge more for my books if they'd like. That's completely up to them. Once you have that figured out, your price point, how much you're going to charge for each book, then you also want to tell the store that you'll buy your books back. Now, why would you want to do that? Because then there's no risk to them to buy your books. So you can say, here's what I would charge you for my books. Here's what you can charge your customers for my books. And after a certain amount of months or a certain amount of time, maybe it's even a year, say, if you don't sell my books, I will buy them back. That way there's absolutely no risk. You don't know if your books will sell well. They don't know if your books will sell well. So give them the easiest thing you can do and give them no risk, because then they'll be much more likely to buy your books. And out of all the stores that I have asked if they would be interested, I've only had one turn me down. And I think a lot of that has to do with that no risk factor. Make it easy for them to say yes. Once you have that plan established, then I would choose a handful of stores to actually go out and talk to them. Go in person. Don't email. Don't call them. Just actually go out in person. That means, yes, you have to get out of your pajama pants or your sweats. Put something on a little nicer. I'm not saying you need to put on a suit like you would for an interview, but jeans, a nice pair of pants, nice pair of shoes, and a nice top, okay, when you're going in. And make sure you introduce yourself, tell them that you're a local author, shake their hand. Make sure that you have your books with you so that you can show them what they look like. Make sure you have a business card and bookmarks, because they may not say yes right away. They may need some time to think about it. And it may be email follow-ups or phone calls after that, but at least you've established yourself as a business person directly in front of them. So once you get into the store, ask for the owner or a manager. Introduce yourself, shake their hand, and tell them who you are. Give them a little information about yourself. You don't need to tell them your whole life story of why you became an author and how you're living out your dream. They probably don't care about that. What they do care about is that you're thinking of them, that you're trying to make a business deal with them, and you're trying to help make them more money. Something else you can offer when you're with them is that you will do some Facebook or Twitter marketing, letting your readers or other people know that your books are in their store. So for instance, for each of the stores that I've sold my books to, several days after that, once I know that my books are on their shelves, that's when I put it on my Facebook author page. Hey people, just so you know, if you don't have your copies of Shackled Heart and Shattered Heart yet, they're at the Book Rack, or they're at the store Just Because in the Village of East Davenport. Make sure that you are putting your books out there for people to know that they're there. That way you're giving them some free marketing, because they're doing a really nice gesture. Once again, they don't know if they're going to make any money off your books. So be grateful and make sure that you're doing your part to help out on this business deal. I would not go to every single store on your list. Only a handful. Come home and assess. How did it go? How many of the stores said yes? What were things that you would have changed that you said or didn't say? And based on those assessments, wait a few days or a week or a couple weeks and go to some of the other stores out there, because that way you've given yourself some time to really reflect and think about what you did well, what you didn't do so well, and then you can go and hopefully make some new deals. This is really that easy. There's not a lot to it. You just need to be confident in yourself. Know that your books are amazing, that you worked really hard on your characters and your plot, and there is no reason you shouldn't be marketing your books to local stores. It's really that easy. So, easy way to make money, great marketing. So, go out there, get going. That's all there is to this video today, because I know that you can do this, and I want you to get going right now. There's no better time than now to at least start making your list, start coming up with some of those ideas. I would love to hear from you once you've started doing this, what kind of stores locally have bought your book. So please comment below. Don't forget to subscribe for new weekly content. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and happy writing.